Every housing crash in this country needed the same 4 things to happen at once. Not 3, 4. Right now, San Jose has 0 of them. And here's the part that gets people. The one thing everybody's watching on the news is not even on the list. I will show you why. And I will tell you which of these 4 I would actually bet on breaking first, because it's not the one you would guess. A crash is a mechanism. It has ingredients. Go back to 2008 or go back to the early 90s here, and the same 4 things show up every single time. So we do not need to guess. We can just check 4 boxes, and either the box is checked or it is not. So number 1 is real supply. And I'm starting here because this is the box almost everybody thinks is already checked. In a crash, homes pile up. They cannot leave. And that pile is what drags the prices down. The way you measure it is in months of supply. How long would it take to sell everything that is listed at the speed that things are actually selling? Under about 3 months of supplies, sellers have the power. 3 to 6 months of supply is balanced. And if you have above 6 months of supply sitting there, that is where you get real price damage, because now that pile cannot clear. So here in San Jose in July of 2026, straight from my MLS, about 930 houses are for sale. About 660 homes sold. That is right around a month and a half of supply. A month and a half. The damage line is 6. Now here's the part that almost nobody has right. You've been hearing all year that inventory is piling up, and it did climb from January into May. That is very true. And if you were out shopping this spring, you definitely saw it and felt it. But go back a full year instead of 6 months. Last July, San Jose had about 990 houses on the market. This July, it's 930. There are fewer houses for sale today than there was a year ago. Days on market went from 22 to 26. So things are taking about 4 days longer than they did a year ago. And the average San Jose house still closed a couple percent over asking last month. And this is with everybody telling you that this whole thing is falling apart and crashing down. So box 1 is not checked. And on the house side, it is not even close. So if supply is not doing it, what about the thing every single person brings up to me? Because that one's not even on the list. And there is a reason. So number 2 is loose credit on the way in. And here's the mistake almost everybody makes. They blame the crash on the moment prices fell, but the real damage happened years before that in how the loans got written. Before 2008, you could get a mortgage without documenting your income. Stated income, no documentation, teaser rates that reset into a payment that nobody had ever qualified for. People were not buying homes they could not afford because they were reckless. They were buying them because nobody checked. That ended. Dodd-Frank's ability-to-repay rule kicked in January of 2014. Since then, the lender has to verify you can actually make the payment. Income documented. Debts counted. So everybody who bought here in the last 12 years got underwritten on the real number, not a teaser, the real one. And think about what that does. To get forced sellers in volume, you need a wave of people who cannot make a payment we're never able to make in the first place. That group barely exists here anymore. Now, the thing I promised you at the top, the thing everybody is watching is mortgage rates. Rates are not on this list. And I get it, because rates are the number one thing you see in every single headline. Rates absolutely change what you can afford, and they absolutely slow down how many homes sell. But a high rate does not push anybody out of a house they already own. It does the opposite. It keeps them in it, because trading a low rate for a high one is a bad deal, and everybody knows it. Rates are a volume story. They're not a crash story. So box 2, that's not checked either. All right, so 2 boxes down. Number 3 is the one that actually does the damage in a real crash. And this is where the local number gets almost funny. Number 3 is forced sellers. Not people who want to sell, people who have to, on somebody else's timeline at whatever number clears. Foreclosures, short sales, defaults. And here is why that one breaks a market when nothing else does. Those sales do not just add inventory, they become the comps. Once a distressed sale is the comp on your street, it drags every clean house around it down with it. That is 2008 in one sentence. It was not that people got nervous. The sales setting the price were sales nobody chose to make. Nationally, ATTOM, which is a great data company, counted about 227,000 foreclosure filings in the first half of this year, up about 21% from last year. The direction is up, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But that same report puts the total around 87% below the 2010 peak. Up from almost nothing is still almost nothing. That is the national number. Here is the local one. Santa Clara County data right now shows 67 properties in foreclosure. 67 against about 15,700 homes sold in this county over the last 12 months. So picture what that means when you walk into a house on a Saturday wondering if the seller is desperate. Almost every single person you're negotiating against chose to list. They can pull it off the market. They can wait until spring. They can rent it out. A seller with options does not create a crash. A seller with options creates a slow negotiation, which is a completely different thing, and it is exactly what we have right now. So box 3 here in San Jose, that is not checked. It's not even close. And which brings us to the last one, and this is the one where what you've been hearing all year and what the county actually reported are two completely different things. Number 4 is local employment shock, deep enough to break payments. That is the one that would matter most here, and that is why it goes last. Santa Clara County is close to a one industry county. If tech breaks, we feel it in a way Sacramento does not. And every month this year, there's been another big layoff headline. Big ones, real ones. So here's the real number. Santa Clara County unemployment was 3.4% in May, down half a point from a year earlier. 4th lowest county in the entire state. The state EDD says the same thing from a different angle. The San Jose Metro added about 15,000 jobs year over year through the spring. Added. County sitting at 3.7% in April, against 5% for California and 4% for the entire country. Let me say that one more time. The year of the layoff headlines is also the year the county added jobs and unemployment went down. Both of those are true at once, and that is what people cannot hold in their head. Individual companies cut hard. The county, they absorbed it. People landed somewhere else and kept making the payment. A layoff is a devastating thing to go through. Heck, I know, I've been through one. It is not automatically a market event. Could it change? Absolutely. That is why it is on the list. But if you watch one thing on the job side, watch the county unemployment rate, not the announcement count. Announcements are loud. The rate is what actually reached somebody's mortgage. Box 4 is not checked. So which one would I bet on breaking first? I told you it is not the one you would guess. It is not jobs. It's supply, but not the supply you're thinking of. Houses are at a month and a half. Condos and townhomes in San Jose are sitting just under 3 months. And that inventory is up about 8% from last year, while houses are down. Condo days on market went from 31 to 39. Same city, same month, 2 property types going opposite directions. I made a whole video on why that is happening, the HOA costs, the balcony law, the new lending rules, and it is worth your time if you own one, or if you're looking to buy one. The link is in the description. But for this list, here's what matters. If any box is going to get checked in this county, it will start on the condo side, and it starts with that months of supply number crossing 3 and staying there. That is the number I check every month. Not price, Price is the slowest thing in real estate, and it tells you what happened last spring. Months of supply tells you what's coming. If you're a buyer and you've been sitting out waiting, I have a buyer guide that walks you through the entire process and what your real monthly number actually looks like. Payment, taxes at the new assessed value, insurance, HOA if there is one. Most people only run the first one. Scan the code on the screen right here or grab it in the description and I'll send it to you. And one more thing, maybe you watched all this and figured out that Silicon Valley is not your move, or you're coming here for work or something else and you have to sell your home somewhere else first. Either way, I can help you. I have great referral partners all over the country. Agents I have vetted myself and they are absolutely phenomenal. These are people I would send my own family to. Heck, I actually have. Tell me where you are headed and I will connect you with the right one. Just a referral, no pressure. Links in the description for that one as well. So there it is. Forced sellers, loose credit, real supply, a job shock. There's 4 ingredients and 0 of them here are checked and 2 of them are not even remotely close. If you've been waiting on the sidelines, you now have something better than a feeling. You have a list you can actually score yourself. Months of supply and the county unemployment rate once a month. That is it. If those 2 start moving together, come find me and we'll talk about it. So see you guys on the next one.